Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. It's time to let go of negative thinking, understand why you do what you do and stop the self-sabotage with your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop self-sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stress to success as my little gift to you just for being here. Please do subscribe, share and review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you'll also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, printables, programs. You can find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my favorite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I'm here for it. So that's the formalities over, my love. So let's jump to the content. I am back in the depths of the countryside after another 10 days cat and house sitting in Londinium. And I wanted to talk about something. I am always talking about how the things I love to teach most of which I'm always constantly talking about on this podcast, I consider Humaning 101. The essential things that we all should have been taught when we were younger. The things we really should have learned at school. But when it comes down to that, I want to talk about the elephant in the room that comes along with it. And that is adulting 101. Why? Because in 1 week, I had a total of 7 different people say the same words to me. And I am going to be a little bit sweary on this one, so advance warning. And I keep saying, I really thought I'd have my shit together by now. Really thought I'd have my shit together by now. These people, some of my favourites in the whole world, beating themselves up because for some reason they believe that by a certain age, we're supposed to have everything clicked into place and know what we're doing. And in all honesty, nothing could be further from the truth. I saw a quote that I absolutely loved recently, and I'm so sorry I can't give credit to the original creator because I can't find it now, but it was, I used to think adulthood was one crisis after another. I was wrong. Multiple crises, concurrently, all at once, all the time, forever. And yes, it made me lol, but I actually think this can spark a really important conversation, right? I've said it 1,000 times that so much of the work, in inverted commas, is simply learning how to deal with the inevitable stuff that life throws at you and how reframing each of those things as growth opportunities can hugely help too. To live a happy and fulfilling life, it's kind of a non-negotiable that we must let go of the notion that that is what life is supposed to feel like most of the time. You know? It's just not. So much of the healing work is about breaking the patterns of historic triggers, recalibrating and rewiring neural pathways and your nervous system, and constantly creating a new baseline of safety in your body and increasing your window of tolerance. Sounds fancy, but it's literally increasing your capacity to cope with what life throws at you. Life is going to throw things at you. You are going to be tested. And it doesn't discriminate with age. There is no age that we're supposed to stop having these things happen. And I believe that learning to not see challenges as big, bad, scary things, but things that we breathe through and grow through, right? I'm so grateful for the work that I do and the knowledge that I have around how to do this, because it genuinely is easier than most people think, which is why I'm always hammering home to go back to basics and prioritize the basics. And you all know what those are. If you've been with me for any amount of time, you know what those are. And if you don't, I suggest you start at the beginning. I'm definitely not saying it's always easy, especially at the beginning while you're learning it, but it is simple. Learn to regulate your emotions and your nervous system, and your life will get better, easier, happier, more calm. That's what I believe our priority is when we're talking about adulting. It makes all the difference. All the difference. Think about the level of responsibilities that grow as we get older. You might have kids, elderly parents, friends or family who are unwell or struggling, mortgages, our own health and well-being, stuff breaking, job security or lack thereof. The list really is endless, right? And because life crises really don't tend to follow a predictable or linear pattern, it can sometimes feel like it's one thing after another. And we also love to attach our age to this. Like I said, 7 different people uttered the words, "I just really thought I'd have my shit together by now." And it's just a big fat lie. I don't even know where it comes from. Is it the movies? Everyone has it all figured out by the end. It's just not, it's a lie. It's a Hollywood lie. We think as kids that the adults in our lives have it all together. And they don't. It's really interesting to consciously look back or have the conversations with parents or grandparents and ask their perspective on where they were at your age. You might be really, really surprised at the answers that you get. And this is one of the things that I've actually loved as an adult. The dynamic can shift with your parents and you can have totally different conversations and ask the hard questions. If you feel like you can, I wholeheartedly recommend doing it. It can be incredibly cathartic. So, from my perspective, ticking the boxes you think you should have ticked as an adult really means nothing. It really, really means nothing about who you are, your character, your personality, your values. It means nothing. I thought I had all the boxes ticked. And I'm turning 40 next year, and life turned completely on its head. But pretty much every single one is out of whack. I did not think I would be nearly 40, nearly divorced, living with my parents, and all the other things that have happened over the last 12 to 18 months. It was not my plan. I had everything I thought I ever wanted on paper. But you know what? I genuinely could not be prouder of myself. Even though there's a long way to go and still some pretty horrendous next level adulting coming my way over the next few months, I can genuinely say that I am the happiest, calmest, most peaceful, confident, solid version of myself. I did that. No one else. It's not to say that there's not bad days. Of course there are. Of course there are days where everything gets on top of you, but it's how you get through them that counts. I did that. No one else. And I did it through my own bravery and gumption to do the big, hard, scary things that I needed to do to get there. To stare uncertainty in the face and say, okay, I've got this. To put myself and my own well-being above everything else. And I know there's lots of you out there doing the same right now because you're messaging me. And you might not be recognizing that this is the adulting stuff that matters. This is the stuff that when you go through this stuff, this is when you really become yourself. You really come into your own. I genuinely believe that. Removing yourself from situations that aren't good for you and don't make you feel loved and respected is a huge act of self-care. Making big decisions that might go against the grain or against what you had hoped for yourself in your life at this point. Staring fear in the face and doing it anyway. Respecting yourself enough to say, no, I deserve better. I'm worth more. That's flipping huge. Leaving the relationship, getting out of a toxic situation, changing careers, starting or quitting the business, leaving, all of these things. Yes, it can feel like one thing after another at times. But the thing you think you should have done or be at this age, as an adult, is not the right version of adulting to focus on. That's not the important stuff at all. The important stuff is, do you like yourself? Do you respect yourself? Are you proud of yourself? Do you know your own worth? And if the answer is no to any of those things, don't beat yourself up. But are you working towards it? Because that is just as brave. I promise you no one has their shit together. No one. Doesn't matter how old you are or what you know. No one has it all figured out. But knowing you're going to be okay in the process is what matters. Doing the things that you know are good for you, that is the adulting, right? There's a reason we call it reparenting. Yeah, consciously living according to your values and belief systems is winning at life. Making hard decisions and doing the right thing by yourself and other people is winning at life. Knowing that you're going to mess up. You're going to mess things up. You're going to get things wrong. But you're still a good person. That is winning at life. Don't focus on the material or societal things that you think you should have by now. Don't focus on the notion that life should be rosy all the time. You're probably doing way better than you think.
So if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then join the Positive Pants Toolkit app and community so you can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. And if you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I work with people one-on-one and through my programs. You can find all the details to join the toolkit or book in a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram, and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now because you can. I'm here to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And as always, I hope you found this helpful and I'll see you next week. Bye.